What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. I know it's been a little while. The main thing I want to talk about in the beginning of this video is some ideas that I'm having, such as I'm thinking about bringing you guys with me to my locals so you guys can see some live duels, which should be interesting, you know, local setting, tournaments, you know, some fun. But I do want to talk to the store owner and the players first to see if they're comfortable with it. I don't know too much about the store owners because, you know, I am a very, 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 very small YouTube channel. So, you know, there's not really much for them to gain from it. So they might not be too interested in it. Not to mention, I want to make sure players are okay with it as well. Because, you know, some people, they're not very comfortable with them being, well, with anything being recorded near them. You know, it's normal, it's fine. So if everything doesn't go that well, eventually I'll bring some live duels. Maybe it'll just be me and a friend or something, you know. But till then, I'm going to keep bringing you updates to my salamangreat deck, and maybe, well, not maybe, eventually I will be bringing some new decks to the channel for you guys to see. But I'm mainly focused on my salamangreat deck because it's my favorite deck to play, and it's my favorite deck right now. None of the other decks really interest me besides Salad, so that's why I tend to stick to Salad and why you're seeing so many updates for this deck rather than seeing other decks pop up on the channel. So there's that. I do want to also say, if you guys are up for the salamangreat content, let me know down in the comments. Hit the like, subscribe, you know, help your boy out, hit the little bell. Other than that, I don't really have too much else to say. Even if you don't like Salad that much and you still like my content, you know, you could go ahead and subscribe for that as well. You could also hit the bell for that. So, you know, help your boy out, you know. Anyways, let's go ahead and get into the profile. So it has changed a little bit since the last profile. So, you know, there's actually some differences to see. So let's go ahead and get into it. One Gazelle, one Falco. I've talked about this ratio quite a lot, so I'm not gonna sit here on it for a while, forever. Two Ubs, we play two Jack Jaguar, two Spinny, and two Foxy. I am gonna say this much now. You can play these ratios and be perfectly fine, but I am about to start testing Spinny at 3 and eventually Foxy at 3. I'm not gonna play them both at 3, so I'm gonna see if I like Spinny at 3 more or Foxy at 3 more. And eventually, whenever I get that decision made, you will see an update come to this deck, and you will see one of these at 3 and one of these still at 2. So there's that. Again, this deck works perfectly fine with these ratios. I just want to see if a third Spinny or a third Foxy makes it better. That's it. Anyways, moving on. We have 3 Flame Buffalo. I like this card a lot. I've talked about it a lot, so I'm not going to sit here forever on it. I will say this much: it lets you draw 2. So that's pretty good. I mean, that's pretty good. Moving on, we have 3 Parallel Exceed. This card's also really good. I like it for the ability of it giving you some really good extending plays and some decent rank 4 plays. So, well, making it easy to go into rank 4s is what I should say. And making it easy to extend and link climb and stuff is really nice. Hand traps, this is where a big difference will be noticed from like my past profiles. I am on 3 Ash, 3 Veiler. There is more hand traps, but I put it further back because it's also, you know, another card, so I don't want to include it here. I want to include it with the other thing, so that's kind of how I do it. But yeah, 3 Ash, 3 Veiler. I used to play 3 Bell. I'm trying another card out right now to see if I like it, and if I don't, I might throw in another 3 of Hand Trap, just because I don't really like Bell all that much. It's still really good, but I don't like it as much as I used to, so I'm experimenting, basically. But 3 Ash, 3 Veiler is really, really good. Monster Effect Negation, and just a very, very good hand trap. Not much more to say there. 1 of Spells, 1 Sanctuary, because any more of it's a brick. 1 Circle, because it's limited. Maybe the ban list will give us Circle to 2. Either Circle or Gazelle to 2 will be fine. I think I'd rather see Circle to 2 than Gazelle to 2, but that's just me. Let me know what you would rather see, but I think I'd rather see Circle than Gazelle. Just because Circle's more versatile, you can search a lot more than just Gazelle with Circle. And you can also use Circle to protect stuff, which is kind of nice. So there's also that. Two-wheel. I've seen people start to go back down to two-wheel, which is kind of interesting to see. This card is actually really, really good right now because a lot more people are playing Nibiru in the main. And this card kind of lets you keep playing after being Nibiru'd, so that's kind of huge. So, you know, this card's looking better this right now, so there's that. We play triple Signet Mining. I like this card a lot. This is like your big consistency card. You can search any of your Cyberse cards using this card, and you could possibly even make your Gazelle live by sending a salamangreat monster and then searching the Gazelle to then summon the Gazelle. You know, pretty normal plays for salamangreat decks. As for the card that I am now testing, just to see how it does, is triple Forbidden Chalice. This card has been seeing a lot of play in a lot of different decks, and I'm wanting to try it myself. I will say this much, the card is really good. Just having a bunch of monster negation, like monster effect negations in a deck is actually kind of good in the meta right now. Just being able to constantly say no to your opponent's monster effect is kind of huge. So I'm liking it a lot. Not to mention you could also use Chalice to technically like make your salamangreat monster a little bit bigger, you know? So like if they swing into it, you chain Chalice, you know, yada yada, you target your salamangreat, now they can't really swing over it. It doesn't really come up, but I mean, it can happen, you never know. Moving on, we play 2 Pot of Desires. You could play 3 of this. I don't really think 3 is necessary. But again, you could play 3 of this and be perfectly fine. I just think 2's fine. 2's fine for me. That's what I'm gonna say. I haven't really been in the situation to where a 3rd Desires was necessary, nor was I ever in a situation like, oh, if I had a 3rd Desires, this would be better. So. 1 Monster Reborn, I say this in all my profiles, I'll say it again, you could trade this out for anything. I strictly like Monster Reborn in the deck because, unlike Will, you don't have to target a salamangreat monster, and you could also use something out of your opponent's graveyard. So that's the main reason I play Monster Reborn. Again, you can play whatever you want from that card. Like, if you wanted to play a 3rd Desires, you could take out the Monster Reborn and throw in a 3rd Desires if you want, but I just really like Monster Reborn. Traps, we have 2 Roar, 1 Rage. This ratio is a little weird right now, just because I'm on the fence with it because of Desires. I'm in a weird spot. Like, I feel like I should be playing 2 Rage and 2 Roar playing Desires, but I'm testing it out right now, and I haven't really had a whole lot of times where I've been banishing my Rage. But again, it can happen. I mean, it's gonna happen eventually. But I do think Roar's a little bit better in this meta than Rage, personally. So that's why I play the Roar over the Rage. That's why I play 2 Roar over 2 Rage. So there's that. Next is triple Infinite Impermanence. This card's also really, really good. This is the other hand trap that we play, / trap. I put it way back here because I consider it more or less a trap than a hand trap. But, you know, it is what it is. Infinite Impermanence is really, really good because it's another monster negation, and you could also turn off a column with it if it's set. So that's kind of huge. And as for a card that I'm testing in the main that's replacing the 2nd Rage is Imperial Order. This card's kind of nuts. This card is kind of insane. Now, you might find yourself in a situation to where now this is stuck on your field and you can't really activate your spells. Well, you can actually use your Foxy in the graveyard to summon it back, use its effect to summon itself back, and then pop your own Imperial Order to then combo off and play and maybe even OTK. So, you know, Imperial Order being in this deck isn't really that big of an issue. Not to mention that card can literally steal games. Extra deck, it's pretty much the same, so I'm going to kind of go through it pretty quickly. Triple Baylynx, triple Sunlight Wolf, double Heat Leo. This is standard. This has been pretty much salamangreat extra deck since the structure deck came out. So we play 1 Lingerubo. This is new. Haven't really made it too much, but the times I have made it, it has been very, very helpful. We are still on the Access Go Talker OTK package. Not really much to say there, besides it's just a really good OTK package. We are still on the Appaloosa, because I think making this turn 1 is pretty huge if you can. And a lot of times if you go into grind games, this card can be a game breaker. Like, making this in a grind game can be huge. Raw Stalio, I mean, that's kind of to be expected, right? And finishing it off is Abyss Dweller. I just think this is like the best rank 4 to play in the deck right now, so that's why I play Abyss Dweller. But yeah, that is pretty much the entirety. I'm not going to show a side deck because I'm still working on the side deck and I'm not very comfortable with showing it just yet. So yeah, that is my main deck and extra deck. This is the changes I have made, which isn't very many, but the changes I have made, I do think make the deck a lot different. So yeah. But yeah, I hope you guys liked the video. Like, comment, subscribe, hit that little bell, you know, to know whenever I post. But other than that, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. See you guys in the next.